Right. Notification to Telegram based on the onboarding SharePoint list. So I'll be doing a little demo, not the live demo. I'm show you how it's configured and then talk about some of the documentations there. So let's say you have a SharePoint list for recording all the employees that are onboarded. Say they need access to the new system, they need to be conducted. Someone would create a new SharePoint record in this list, says, all right, Sean Darcy is the new person in the company. The job title is consultant, and then he's based in Perth, WA. Once that record is created, soon enough, it will create a notification in the Telegram. So the bot will send a message to you saying, all right, here's a new person in Perth. He's a consultant. His name is Sean Darcy. Have a look and then take action on it. So kind of that should set the background on what this kind of things would integrate. So it integrates based on the SharePoint and then send a message to Telegram, which is the external systems. For the configuration itself, so I have created a SharePoint list from the SharePoint site and named the employee onboarding. I renamed the title column to name column, and I have created two more text columns called job title and office location, but you can have any more other columns as you need. I then went to make the powerautomate.com or went to the Power Automate, created a new flow. I selected a SharePoint triggered, so the SharePoint trigger for when item is created. And then I have selected the sites that I have access to, and from the list, the drop-down will show you all the list under the site. I have selected the employee onboarding. And then lastly, I just give it a name called Notify Telegram for employee onboarding. Right after that trigger, right after the SharePoint trigger, I created a condition action. So condition action is when the statement is met, it will run on the true path. It will run set of actions within the true block. Otherwise, it'll run the set of actions under the false block. So right now in the screenshot on the slide deck here, there's one action under the true block, and then there's no action on the false block. So the condition we have given here is if the job condition is same as consultant, we send a message. If it's not a consultant, we do not send a message. We don't do anything pretty much. So once you add a condition action, you on the left-hand side, you select the job title. So once you click it, there is a lightning icon, and then you can select the job title from the drop-down. So the job title from the trigger or the job title from the SharePoint list will be used in here. And on the right-hand side, there's a consultant. It's just a free text that I have given. So if the job title matches with this text that I have given, that means the condition is met. And then lastly, between the job title and the consultant, it says is equal to. So it basically the equal sign in the equation. So if left hand side and the right hand side is same, is a default, so I didn't change the setting. If they are the same, send a notification. So once you've done the condition, I have now clicked the plus icon within the true action. And then I just searched the Telegram, and then there is one connector called Telegram Independent Publisher. And then I have selected send a message from the set of actions there. Just note that there was no Telegram icon there because it's independent publisher connector. So rather than a connector that company provides, says Microsoft provides the icon for the SharePoint because they have developed the connector and then they support it. This connector is done by community member or anyone pretty much. In this case, it was I developed it a few years ago. Thus, it has a suffix for independent publisher, and then it has generic icon for that. So within the send message action, what you do is you would enter the bot token. So it's a alphanumeric with some colons. It's the secret key. And then you click under the advanced parameters, you click show all, and then you enter the chat ID and then the text. Text is what you actually send a message to, so it's essentially message body. I have put some generic message with a dynamic contents for the title, job title, and then office location. Just note that the text that displayed in dynamic contents are the internal name here. So because we renamed the title to the name, it's showing as a title, but it will bring up the name column from the record. That should be it for the setup. So once you've done that, you can obviously test it and then see if it works, or if any error shows up, we'll see what the error says and then figure out. For the first run, you might need to wait a little bit longer than usual, let's say 3 to 5 minutes, but that should work. Now we are at the docs. So documentations are pretty handy when you develop this kind of things. So the first one here is how from the Telegram bot page, how you would create a new bot. So it basically says you need to use another bot called botfather and use the new bot command, and then you enter some details, and then basically you got a bot. If you don't do anything special with the bot, other than sending a message, this should be enough to get you started. But depends on what you need. You might need some complex questions or some development needed. Depends on what you want to do. But it will also have some other details other than creating the bot itself, see what's the limits or what other available commands they are, available APIs they are. Second one here is you need a chat ID to send a message to the chat that you want to send the chat, right? So you have a bot, but you don't know who to send it to, and then the way it figure out is send it via chat ID. So what I did here is create a new blank flow with a manual triggered flow, and then it uses the get updates action. It only takes the bot token, not the chat ID. And then I open up my phone, find the bot based on the name that I know when I had created. Sends a message, say hi, and then when I run the flow, it grabs the recent messages, and then one of the message being the message that I have sent, and then the body of the get updates message should have the ID inside. So on the left-hand pane, you can see that I have scrolled down a little bit until the output section, and then there's a body section, and then there's a ID that is included. So you can use that to send the message to the person later. So because I sent a message, they got the chat ID that is between me and the bot, and then when the bot send a message using the chat ID, it send the message to me. So the other thing here is the secure inputs. So because the bot token is the credential, bot token is the only thing that you need to do any operation with the bot itself. So you want to secure it. For the chances in the flow run history, so when you go to the flow run history, and then if you click open up, say the run that was ran on Tuesday last week, you would still see the bot token, and then if for some reason if you get that exposed, it might they might be able to use it as well. So if you click the send messages action and then left-hand pane, there is a settings ribbon, settings tab, and then there is a security section, and then there are secure inputs and secure outputs. By default, both will be turned off, but you can turn on the secure inputs. So your inputs, which the bot token is part of the input, will unable to see afterwards. So it will be hidden. It will says inputs hidden due to security settings. They will not be able to see from the flow run history. Just note that if even we did the secure inputs, if you edit the flow, the bot token will be still there. So if you want to secure that one as well, you can create Azure Key Vault and then set up environment variable in that environment, which reads the value, which reads the secret or the bot token from Azure Key Vault, and then use it in the flow, which means the flow doesn't store the actual text, credential text itself anyway, and then obviously you still need the secure inputs turned on, so you can't see from the history. But that should be the way that you can secure the credential or the stored so it doesn't store it in the plain text. The last one here is the connector docs. So each connector has a documentation page. So let's say that's SharePoint or that's OneDrive, it will have a page in this documentations from Microsoft. So we also have one for Telegram bot connector. So which I have submitted when I submit the connector. So it includes some of the details on what actions available, what each action will expecting as an input, what you can enter as an input, say if it's a type, but if it's a string, what can go into the values, what are you expecting as an output, and then some other details as well, where you can get help, where's the official documentations page, for the Telegram, so on and so forth. But this should come very handy when you use the connector and if you're unsure on some of the details. That should cover most of the things that I need to cover for this short example case. So it is possible to create your own custom independent publisher connector, or just use it in a custom connector and then use it in your organization. But it should allow the users to use a Telegram with the other side of the Microsoft or non-Microsoft things anyway. And there was some metrics regarding the Telegram bot connector, and then it seems to be quite being used quite a bit. So which is very good. Feels good to make something that is helping other people by the look of it. But that should cover this video. Cheers.